Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's question has 3 answers, and the third answer is a secret you're going to want to stick around for, because I'm going to tell you exactly why publishing with Apple books can be extremely pricey and cost you a lot of money. Now, let's get into today's question. The question that was sent in today was how to self-publish an ebook on iTunes. Now, there's a couple issues with this question. I know what you're thinking, because you can't actually publish ebooks on iTunes. But I know exactly what the person who asked this question is thinking about, because they're thinking about Apple Books. On iTunes, you can do movies and music, but you are not able to do books on iTunes. But I'm still going to answer the question, which is what they're getting at, which is using Apple's platform for publishing books, whether we're talking paper or audiobooks, how exactly you can go about doing just that. But before I do, this is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one, and check out below in the links and you will find my free self-publishing secrets checklist that will help you get started on your self-publishing journey, or if you are started, it will help give you some ideas of things you may not be doing already. So let's get into it. How to self-publish an ebook on iTunes? Well, I can tell you that there's a couple of things, and they'll be partially within the answers, but when I first got started, I found the whole thing to be very confusing. There are so many people selling courses that have all of these modules and things you have to pay attention to, and thousands of pieces of software you need to buy that are expensive, and memberships and all sorts of things that make it super confusing. And that's one of the reasons I started producing this very channel, was because I felt that others shouldn't have to suffer through the exact same thing that I did when I first got introduced. And so, to self-publishing. And so when I started with Amazon, and then I began to understand that having your books distributed on as many different networks and channels as possible will increase your sales. And of course, I came across Apple Books at the same time, and that made me realize maybe I should have my books over there. But how exactly should you go about doing that? Now, I did get my books over there, not all of them, but some of them, and there's a couple little issues here that you're going to want to pay attention to. So let's get into the answer. So how to self-publish an ebook on iTunes. The first answer is you publish Apple Books with, and there's 2 routes that I recommend. Now, you can go directly with Apple Books, but I would never do that because we want to maximize our distribution. So we're going to choose aggregators. We're going to choose to publish in a way that gives us the ability to have our books get out there, but not have to do the work to make sure that it meets all of the standards that Apple itself has. You see, we'll meet the standards, but we're going to do it at another site, which gives us the ability to get it onto multiple networks. The first means that we're going to do is through ACX. ACX is owned by Amazon, and this is for audiobooks. Now, if you publish through ACX, it will be on Audible, and also it will go through Apple Books. Okay, so your audiobooks will automatically show up on there as well, which is fantastic, because then you're hitting this market of all the users who have iPads and Macs and iPhones. In addition, we're going to publish our books on through Smashwords. Now, this is part of the person who asked this question's key, which was ebooks, and ebooks, which are going to be in EPUB format for Smashwords. If you publish through Smashwords, those books will then be pushed through to get to Apple Books, okay? So you don't have to go onto Apple Books and figure out their entire way of doing stuff. If you get it accepted through Smashwords, your EPUB file through Smashwords, it will then push all the way through, and it will be available on Apple Books, which is fantastic news. In fact, if you're publishing only on Amazon and using Amazon Select, then you're not even allowed to do this. So you're going to need to make sure that your books are not on Amazon Select. So as I commented in the second answer, it includes both audiobooks, if you're doing the ACX, and your ebooks when pushing through Smashwords. and that gives us the maximum way to make as much money as possible off of our ebooks. Now, your ebook shouldn't only do Smashwords, you still should do Amazon Kindle, since Smashwords, unless you're making tons of sales, they will not sell your books on Amazon Kindle. So you're going to need to go through KDP and put it out as a Mobi file. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to get these Mobi files or EPUB files that we're doing with our ebooks on these different platforms? And that's where the program Uto comes in handy, and you can see it below in my description. So I recommend you check out that book, that program. Costs almost nothing and gives you the ability to quickly, with a single click, produce all of the different file types you're going to be needed that will be necessary for these different programs where we're going to be putting all of our books. But that brings us to our third answer of the day and the secret answer of the day. And that is, you should never publish on just Apple Books, because you're going to lose a ton of money. And the reason is because its market is so small. In fact, the market for Apple Books, it dropped. Whereas Amazon's went up, Apple Books went down from 11% down to 9% of the total market share. So if I'm going to be selling books, why in the world would I want to just put them onto Apple Books when they only control 9% of the market share, at least as the recording of this video? So where should you put it? Should you do Amazon? No, you should do Amazon and Apple and any other site you can. And when you go through Smashwords, it'll even get into libraries. And it costs you nothing to put it out there. And the margins are fantastic compared to even if you went through with a traditional publisher and trying to do this. So this is just the secret tip of the day, which is never publish on just Apple Books, or, as the person asked, on iTunes. So how to self-publish an ebook on iTunes? What have you found? I don't know if there ever was a day when you could publish on iTunes, but maybe you would let me know below in the comments. I respond to all comments that I get, and if you have any questions, let me know, and check up above me here for more answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.